Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Loot stream. I'm Loot, and there is a guy next to me right now.
Why?
Uh, I don't know. Where'd you come in from? What the heck?
I'm sorry. Why is there men on your stream? This can't be right.
I don't know. I'm looking my bottom left, and there's a fella. Oh, my chat's not working. Of course it isn't. There's my chat. That's
Well,
not,
I
it's not
see
my
the chat. Well, that's fine.
It's okay. It's okay. Well, welcome on in. Hello. This is the fella that I always pronounce the name wrong of, and it's just because it's just a meme now. I just continually call you Gehis. But yeah, welcome on in, geeks, as another chatter might call you.
As some would, yes.
How are you doing today? What's up?
I'm doing all right. I'm here. I've been chilling and a little bit busy before this, but I'm here to talk about at least maybe some video games.
Yeah, there will be at least one video game talked about today.
At least
It's
one.
been a really long time since I've last interviewed somebody. I used to have an internet interview talk show that I did, but I played it up as a character. And now that I get to do it extremely casually, it's like something's really off in my brain. I want to be like over the top and really cool, but no, we're strict with the business right now. We're just going to be talking about a few things, learning about you specifically today, and we'll keep it nice and clean. Oh
I'm
yeah,
excited because it will not be funny. It will just be casual. It'll be good.
yeah, no laughing. That's actually number one rule in my stream. You're not allowed to laugh. I won't tell you what happens though if you laugh, because that's funnier that way.
Okay, that's cool because I wasn't the first one to laugh, so I think this is already going well.
Yeah. I break the rules so that I set a standard for everybody.
See, you're already doing it. Like I'm already doing great in this interview. It's great.
I am a laugher at heart. I can't help it. Listen. So, just to get us started, will you, geeks, tell us a little bit about yourself, like inside of the streaming sphere, but if you want to, like completely up to you. Obviously, don't want to have anything doxing happening, but outside of streaming too. What is you?
Okay, so me, I am Gehis514. I stream on Twitch at twitch.tv Gehis514. I am most known for speedrunning Sly Cooper and Thieves Raccoonus. That's the one for the PS2.
I see.
Yep. That's just to be clear.
Just
that one. Just to be clear, just to reiterate. I've been doing it for about, was at this point like 2020 October. So I've been doing this for almost 5 years at this point. Jesus Christ. And that's the most that I do, but I will do some variety every once in a while, and just have fun, and we sometimes laugh, even though it's not allowed here.
Yeah, not allowed.
Let me see about myself. I like the color blue.
Okay.
I like cereal, and I could jump 6 times before I get tired.
Huge. I don't know how much I could do, honestly, but we're off to a great start.
Have you ever seen that bit? Every time I mention is like, when was the last time that you jumped?
The last time that I actually don't even know the last time that I jumped at all.
See, like, it's that's what I mean. It's like when you really think about it, when was the last time that you actually like physically jumped?
So here's an admittance from me. I am 6'4" in real life.
Of course, as you are.
Very tall. And I don't need to jump for a lot of things. I have no need to do so because either I'm going to hit my head on something or I can just reach and grab whatever I need. So it's not that big of a deal. Honestly, at this point, I feel like if I jumped, I would break my legs. Like, that's just how long it's been since I last jumped, so...
No, I understand, because as opposed to that, I am 4'11", so I have to jump a lot, which is really a shame that I get tired after jumping 6 times. So, like, it's just a good question to bring up. That's why I sometimes ask people about it.
Damn, I did not know you were that short, actually. I think it might have been brought up at one point during stream, and I might have been, because you stream really late for me comparatively.
Well, yeah, yeah.
You live in the night. You're a night owl, through and through, it seems.
As I do.
Yeah. Speaking of that, when do you sleep? I asked you this a few days ago, and you said whenever, but like, what is your sleep schedule even like?
I don't sleep. I black out.
Oh no. You turn off stream, you keep playing Sly, you then wake up in a haze however many hours later, and now your day started.
That's actually, well, it's funny because that's not even that wrong. To be honest, it's not that wrong.
So, like, okay, give me an average.
I've always said that, like, if it wasn't for the fact that that I stream on a schedule that's consistent, which is amazing, I probably would be blacking out instead of sleeping. I would just be up until I get tired after, like, what is it, like 20 hours, and then, like, I'll just deal with it later.
I see. I have a lot of friends who, they will stay up either all night or they just continually shift their schedule an hour at a time. I wake up at like 4 a.m. my time because I'm forced to be an early bird for my job. And so I can see them. I go to bed, I see them in VC. I wake up, I see them in VC, and it makes me super concerned for their health. But I've also come to accept that, like, I can't always worry about it because everyone has their own way of working with things. So I come from a place of concern. Make sure you get your sleep, but I know that you've got your schedule, so I'm not going to worry about it.
No. At the very least, like, I do get the 8 hours. Like, I'm not lacking the sleep thing. Is the important part.
Yeah. Do you sleep like 4 and 4? Like 4 hours, you wake up and go back to sleep for another 4, or like split it up, or is it just the straight 8 hours and then you're good?
Sometimes it is both. Sometimes it is accidentally split up, and then it's like, oh, I guess it's like I'll just do another 4 later. But yeah, it's mostly 8. It's mostly the 8.
Okay. Well, that's good to hear at least. I'm glad that you're at least somewhat mentally sound in terms of rest.
Yeah, surprisingly for a speedrunner, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, exactly. I was actually going to bring that up with what James said in the chat. It is because whenever I communicated with you, I only knew you as the fellow who was up really late. I didn't even know if you would respond to me during the daytime when I was making the video, but just sprinkled throughout the day, you would message me, and that's where my question came. Like, when do you actually sleep? So the fact that you're up now and you were like, yeah, 12 p.m. PST is perfectly fine with you was like a shock to me. I thought I would have to push it later.
No, it's because, when you, like, I'm responsible when it comes to obligations and necessities. Like, I'm not unreliable. I can show up. It's like, it's like I can put in effort. It's fine.
You can pull up. I believe in you.
Well, so, I may have European time schedule, but like I am reliable.
Yeah, I'm actually curious about that. So, obviously, maybe your job or like whatever you do in your daytime life has a factor on it. But why such a late time? Why such a late schedule for you for streaming?
Well, it comes from the days that like the days itself came from when I used to go like do like when I went to school for IT. Like throughout the week I only had like school on like Mondays and Wednesdays, so I used to stream on like the other days, so Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And I like to stream at night because my sleep schedule is pretty bad. And I did used to do like a day stream, beforehand, like in the noon afternoon. But I didn't want to stream only 3 hours. because then like I had to hop off, then I would have to eat, and then like at that point it's like, well, I'm just done for the day if I leave the stream. So I just basically made all of them just night streams. I could just go for how long as I need to.
Honestly, hearing that you did IT as far as like college work, it opens the like my mind is opened. I get it now. Like I understand why you're up so late at night anyways.
No, that's the thing. Like it didn't go anywhere. Because it was like I started doing that like what 2019, like basically what fall 2019, and then if you remember what happened the year after, the spring, I had to stop going to school in 2020. So I don't do that anymore.
So okay, I gotta know, because I am relatively new to your community, and you as a whole, and for those that don't know, I met Geeks. I met Gehis from I was making the video on the speedrun that I wanted to make for Murray Must Die, and there was a trick in there that I couldn't do because it's not well documented or talked about, and so I was like, hey, on Twitter, I was like, hey, is it okay if I use your clip, or like a clip from your stream, and just to explain this trick that you can do? And you were like, sure. And I honestly thought that was the end of our discussion, and I got to stop by some of your streams. It was really cool, and then I learned that you did the run, and I was like absolutely like flabbergasted. I was like, oh my god, there's no way that such a cool guy just did something that I made for fun for like no reason. And of course you stream really late. I don't get the full lore package, so would you be willing to talk about, what happened that spring, that the year after, that you had to quit and drop out?
Oh, it's quite simple actually. I think everyone's familiar. It's called COVID.
Yeah. The big one.
Yeah, the big thing. Yeah. So the thing about me is that that some people will know is that I'm very, at least my school life, it was very turbo terrible. It was very bad because I lack motivation in a lot of aspects. Not with when I went physically, like in person, like that was pretty good. Like I had fun, I enjoyed it, I want to continue more of it. But once it shifted to online, I lost literally all motivation to do any of it, and I had to stop. I cannot do it anymore.
Yeah, I feel you 100%.
Yeah, I have to be hands on to do something like that. It's like I can't like do a Zoom call. Like I'm going to play video games if you'd let me do that.
Yeah, speedrunning Sly Cooper while you while you're sitting there learning.
Yes.
Yeah. I just like to take a moment. Thank you, SF Blitz and James, for the follows, and thank you everybody who's stopping on in. I'm Loot, and yeah, that's all you need to know. Anyways,
that's it. Anyways,
irregardless, I'm only a vessel of which that we get to learn about Geeks. I'm gonna pause every time now because I have been made. People have made fun of me for the way that I pronounce your name, and that's why I want to keep doing it. It's just the.
No, literally keep doing it. I think it's funnier this way. It's
fine. So speaking of your name, where does your name come from? Like, what is the inspiration? Is it like an old gamer tag?
Yeah, it mostly that. It was like a high school thing. I regret it every day because the name I had before was so awesome. Back when Xbox 360 was a thing. My initial name was the Epic Smoothie.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like, and then I kind of like changed to this one as a joke because like I was hanging out with with one of my friends in like chemistry class, and then we were just just shooting around some names and just like literally random stupid names, and it means basically nothing. Basically, it's just something that we were just saying, and then it just became like, oh, you know what? I forgot also as well. Like, it was because I was making an account for Clash of Clans, and yeah, that's the whole reason why it came around. Yeah.
No way. The origin is a Clash of Clans username.
Yeah, basically.
Oh my god. I don't blame you, but that is really funny. And
This was I was a sophomore in high school. When was this? Like 2013, 14? Yeah, that's fine. Like I can handle that.
mhm. That's really cool though. And then after that you have the nickname Geeks. So where does that
Mhm.
relate in regards to the original name?
I have no idea because I didn't choose that. That wasn't my nickname that I chose. Um, because I used to like when was this? 2018,
Mhm.
2017 is like when I started using Discord. I used to hang out with like another like group of individuals, and for some reason, one of them started calling me Geek. I don't know why. Like, it's funny because like I think I started like the dude's name was Scott, I believe, and then I just call him like Skook, right? Scooc, and I think that's where it came from. I think it's because like there was like a need to like kind of like do the same kind of nickname. I guess I think that's technically where it comes from.
So it's kind of like a YouTube poop way of like saying your name, like Geek, kind of like that, and
Yeah,
Geek.
yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah,
Well,
more or less something
everyone,
like that. Yeah.
it's out of the bag. I do say Gehis. I can't stop it. And that's just the way it's going to be for the rest of the interview. I'm not going to worry about it.
No, it's okay. We
Especially
don't.
because I say your name like 100 times. I think well over 100 times in the any percent explained video,
Hmm.
and I do not change it at all a single time.
Impressive.
I do. Just as like a behind the scenes for the editing of that, there is a point during, I think it's after Dread Swamp Path skip, when you go out of bounds, I say Gettys by mistake,
Oh
and
no.
the music covers it up a little bit, but if you go back you'll never be able to unhear that part.
Oh
Just
no.
just for those that want a little Easter egg. It bothers me a lot, so I have to bring it up always.
Oh, that video could be pinned in the chat.
Oh shit, I probably should do that. I'm
I
terrible
think
at
that's a good
self
idea.
promotion.
That's yeah. I think do it more. I think honestly, I think that should be a good idea.
Okay, let me grab it really fast. But you mentioned that you've been streaming for 5 years. When was your like first foray into doing speedrunning for Sly Cooper, or maybe even like speedrunning in general?
Let me see. I think I can't put an I can't quite put my finger when I was interested in speedrunning, because as sometimes it does happen. My first technically speed game was Mario 64.
Uh huh.
That's like the one. Like I didn't run it or anything. I just like learned the tricks, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. I mean, I could beat the game in like 30 minutes now, so that's cool. That was
Hmm.
like probably that was like pre like you know online presence.
Hail,
So I don't know,
please.
let's say like 2017 or something like that. 2018. Let me see. So I started streaming like what is it like winter 2019, and I started speedrunning like a year later, so October 2020, I do believe.
Hmm.
And how that came around is that I thought to myself when I was doing my casual variety era, that I thought, okay, I think a good thing that streamers do is that sometimes they will partake in speedrunning, right? And I thought, I was like, oh, that's just a bucket list item. I'm just gonna try it. It'd be a cool thing to do, at least for a little bit. And I thought it was Sly in that time frame because I did see a Sly One speed run, any percent by the Neon, who
Yep.
used to be called Tame Neon. So that guy. And I remembered it. I was like, oh, I saw like maybe like 2 minutes of that. So I think I might try that. I like the game. I have the game right here. It's fine. So I'll run that. And then yeah, that's like that. I mean, that's how it started. I like I was just curious about it. I'm like, oh, let me just try it. And then what was it after like what practicing for like a month? Then I did my first run, or like actually no, it was like 2 weeks. Yeah, it was like 2 weeks. Yeah, I started running on the 15th. So yeah, I
Okay.
think that's the
And
timeline of things.
did you ever think that you would be like top runner in the category? Was that something that you were thinking about at the time as like a goal? Or was it just something that you wanted to be like, yeah, I kind of want to learn this game, and wherever I get, I get.
Yeah. I never thought anything close to that. Like
Hmm.
even when you get to like as close as like what, like top 10 or something like that, like I never even thought about that because I think it's just like I like I like mindset things, like in terms of like the topic itself is just like when you think about the end goal, like the actual end thing, like that, like it's really hard to attain. So I'm like, I'm just doing this because it's fun. I
Yeah.
like playing the game. It's fun. Like literally, like I always say that speedrunning, you could just take out everyone else in the sphere. Like I would do this by myself if I could. Like I'm literally just like competing against myself. It's just fun. And I always thought that when I started playing the game.
Hmm. Yeah, I in a very similar fashion, I got started with speedrunning starting with Super Mario 64, and I that's like babies first, which is like if I had to recommend any game to try, aside from Sly Cooper, because I think Sly Cooper is accessible even if it's hard.
Hmm.
Um, Super Mario 64 for sure. 16-star category, super easy to learn. You do got to delve into it a little bit, but if you want
Hmm.
practice into the medium, I think that like anybody can do that one. Um,
Exactly.
Super high recommendation. And then after that, I chose one of the hardest ones in the world to do, which was Ganondorf, no ace, well, little baby ace for Ocarina of Time. And
Interesting.
yeah, I did that twice total, 2 full runs on stream. It took me an hour, and then I never did it again. So, uh,
Impressive. We love that.
yeah. But I love speedrunning. Obviously, I've made many videos talking about Sly Cooper specifically, um, because it's super interesting. Like, all of the categories are super cool. And I know that you might not personally enjoy any percent like the most out of all of them, but any percent is my favorite to watch because it's so broken. That's my favorite part about the game is it's just so busted, but in a way that's like linear and smooth, and that's really cool to me.
Oh, any
um
percent's my baby. No, I love that thing.
mhm.
Like always.
Well,
It's
you
just that all keys is like that, but more. So like by default that wins. But yeah, any percent is like my thing. So like I love that.
mhm. I mean, I would assume you would have to love the categories that you run to some degree,
Hmm.
unless you really bring a lot of hate to you're the biggest hater of Sly Cooper ever and you're running the game.
No, but yeah, but in that case, I would be qualified. Like, if no one can say if it sucks. If I say it sucks, it's fine.
Hmm.
Like, I'm qualified.
Yeah, you have the right to. Um so in that regard, when you did start, you were on that track to making it to the number one. Like in your first category that you got number one in, when did you realize that this was a possibility? Like when was it that it like in your brain it clicked and you were like, wait, I can actually do this. Like I've mastered the tricks now.
Ooh, that's the funny thing about that is just like I was no master at anything at that point because at that when I was coming around, uh, it was in the advent of fish skip finally being a real thing,
Hmm.
and no one really did it, you know, for speed running. I think I started doing it like after I got my sub 40s, like 39, 38s. And at that time, what was the record? Like 34?
I believe so.
Yeah, and I remember I started doing them like in December of 2020. And I think, yeah, I just kept doing it. And basically, like what, three other people would try to do it too. And I realized that like when I was getting down to a 36 or 35, I'm like, okay, I'm looking at this now, and I'm pretty sure that with the really like even with bad movement and bad tricks, like I can absolutely do that. Like I don't have to do that much more work to actually get world record at that time.
Hmm.
Like it was just because fish skip was such a new thing, but not very accessible to anyone.
Yeah, because as you explained, it's like such a haphazard setup that like you really got to feel it and
Mm-hmm.
that means that somebody else could have a different approach to it entirely. And like the notes that you provided was literally like, maybe you might get in there,
Mm-hmm.
which is awesome, even though it sucks, which is really funny to me. I love that kind of stuff. I I believe I tried to run World 3 using every skip that you like showcased and like verbally, well, written, told me in a notepad, and that was
Of
the
course.
only one I couldn't do. Literally, just couldn't figure it out. And I'm sure that one is the one that needs to be like still documented even more by scientists of the Sly Cooper variety. Uh,
No, yeah, people try, but there's literally no getting around doing it the way that everyone else does it. There's like no secret. Like it
yeah.
really just is. You just try your luck and it just see how it works.
hmm So you got it. You started getting it down consistently. What was your first category to get first place in? Was it any percent, and then you moved on, or were you running all four of them pretty much simultaneously?
No, I just no, I did start with any percent. Um I always like to bring it up because I still think it's it's kind of my little achievement. It did take me 6 months to get from beginner to world record, and I only did 80% that time frame. I will say that.
hmm I
And
mean,
yeah, like from there, like then I'll do like the other categories one at a time.
okay. I like see that's my thing, and the reason why I don't run a lot of speedrunning at in general. I just don't have the time and dedication to it. My brain is like so messed up. It's like it wants to do so many different things. So dedicating time to something specifically for longer than 4 days, I get guilty. Like, oh,
Hmm.
but what about this thing that I could be doing? So I first off, I have to admire your dedication to it. And like I can see it whenever you're playing on stream, the amount that you're talking and just chatting casually while you do all of these insane tricks is awesome. I love the vibe of stream a lot. Um,
I do appreciate that.
mhm. And if nobody has gone to follow Gehis, I will be taking that up with my lawyer because it's a crime to not do so.
At least around here, it's fine it's fine in my stream. Like it's not illegal or anything. It's fine.
Yeah, you could still sit there. Like you don't even have to follow. Just sit there. Pretend that you're following. That would honestly be one of the most impressive viewers of all time. Hey, I've been watching you for 10 years. I'm gonna follow you today.
I've definitely no. I actually do that to some people. Like unironically, I actually have done that. Because
Based.
yeah, because sometimes like they would appear on the right side of the recommended or whatever, like whatever side it's on, and
Mhm.
yeah, like there's really no need to follow them if they're there anyways, and I forget, and like a month passes, and then I get like, okay, what's too late now? Then it's like 6 months is like, okay, this is getting weird now, so I just yeah, I just don't follow them. No, it's just like they're just there.
Awkward follow moment. Well, I know that you follow me now. I have had a lot of people during my interviews in the middle of them, they follow me, which is really funny to me too. So when you were talking about like in the notes that you provided to me, you credited a few people like Hullitant and Grim.
Hmm.
Are there any tricks or discoveries dedicated to you? Like, did you find anything yourself, or were you able to collaborate with people in order to push tricks further or skips further?
I think there's nothing like officially to my name. I have like the one thing I think is like in all keys there is a that launch, like in the high class heist, the one the laser grid and you have to walk through it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um yeah, there's like a launch you could get from like the overarch thing after the lasers and then you launch to the key. Like that's one thing that I didn't find it, but I actually like made it a real thing to do in a speedrun. That's like one of the more impactful things I guess that I found. But other than that, I think like technically the other thing is the task version of fish skip. where you have to like collide with the ramp in a certain way, and then like, because the game likes proxies, it proxies you over the gate instead of like having to drive into it. And I think that is still my most highest viewed clip still, like me finding that for the first time.
And that was something that you tasked.
Nope. No, I just found that.
You found that. Okay. So
it's just called task fishkit because like, well, it's basic. It is kind of like that. You kind of do have to be kind of task like to do it. Even like to this day, like I could barely do it again. Like it's very lucky. Like it's like more unlikely than normal fishkit.
And for my viewers out there who don't really know a lot about speedrunning terminology, TAS stands for Tool Assisted Speedrun. It is basically, when you emulate a game in the most basic terms, it is a program that allows you to go through frame by frame and input any input that you like. So essentially, there are tricks in speedruns that are considered TAS only, almost impossible by human hands unless it's like lucky or like the perfect circumstances almost. So non-TAS, but it is considered TAS only fish skip, which is really cool. And you've never been able to replicate it, or is it something that you've done every so often?
No, I've replicated a few times. It's just that the inputs are like even more precise than just fish skip, where you just go in the corner and then you just try every second. Because there's a lot of factors in trying it. That version, it's like the way the water bounces, the way you approach the ramp, a lot of like things that like it's not worth like like resetting over. But like, yeah, no, it's just very precise. It sucks, but oh well.
Theoretically, if you've ever like looked deep into it, how much time would that save on like a perfect fish skip, like normally?
I mean, the Sly 1 task video does exist, and that one does feature it. I don't know. Can I like offhand? I would say like 2-3 seconds.
Huge. That is big. We call that quite large in speedrunning.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, because because one would have to account for driving into the door, and then you have to you have to get up to the hill where you're supposed to do the thing at, and then you spin it. So yeah, like it takes a little bit of time save. So yeah.
Okay. The more I learn about it, the more insane the run sounds on like time saves and things that you can do specifically. I remember way back when I made the MMD video and I was finally able to chat with you on stream, you mentioned that a lot of the saving, like time saving, comes from the mini games and stuff. Just having better RNG and everything. So even if you play slightly under performance, you can still make up for it for having a good down home cooking and all of that stuff. Is there in your mind any more, at least in any percent specifically, that you know that you can save? Like, is there any point in the game where like you feel like you could save more time?
There are some tricks here and there where I have to start doing the micro time saves that save like half a second to like a second. But I will say, if it wasn't for the mini games, I think I actually would have like a 30 right now instead of a 31. I think the mini games were that impactful in my last run.
Damn, that is like, because I remember last year with your world record, you fell behind because you missed. There was one. Damn, I'm forgetting all of the terminology, and I made the goddamn video. There was the out of bounds Ruby for skipping phase 1 that you fell off the edge. You had to redo that. And then there was a slightly mistimed jump on the dart turrets in World 5. And you even specifically said that because you had decent minigame RNG, that those didn't matter at all.
Yes.
Like, you just made up for it. So now it's kind of the opposite, where now you're being held back by those same minigames.
Yeah, because when looking back at my current run, I think it's some of the best I could do at the moment without adding anything else that's kind of like, out there for saving time. I think it's currently the most ideal I could have it outside of the minigames.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Um, I am curious because I have some like personal taste, but out of every category you've done, what is your favorite skip or just trick in general to pull off on stream?
Mm, it's funny because I actually was just looking at it for research purposes. It's gonna be in Duel by the Dragon. You know, the one in World 4 where Carmelita's chasing you. You could just do a nice long setup to get up
Mm-hmm.
like one of the walls to the right, and you do a super jump off a certain point up that wall. So like you stand up there, then you jump down, and if you jump into the void in a certain way, you can actually like fly towards the key in the dragon's mouth. And that is still like my favorite like trick like under pressure, because
Mm-hmm.
it is just that impressive to do like under pressure.
Yeah, because that's also again at the very tail end of the run. Um,
Hmm.
would you say for you, like I know it's probably not a lot, but would you say that like after you reach the halfway point, you're like not wanting to mess up, like it's a hassle to mess up at that point?
Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
Okay.
Because yeah, for things like any percent and all keys, I hardly think about the run up until like fish, which is like basically halfway through the run anyways.
Uh huh. Yeah, because like again, whenever I'm watching you, I don't think I ever see any of the pressure. I don't see any of the sweat coming down. Even when it's a world record run as well, you keep your composure quite well overall. So
No,
chill
no,
vibes.
no, because I was watching someone also watching my current record,
Hmm.
and this person was insisting that like at a certain point I would just immediately go quiet up until the end of the run, and then they were just vastly surprised that I just kept talking the whole time up until like literally clockwork jump. Like that's the only time where I get quiet, but that's because like it is like the last trick. Why not?
Yeah, yeah, but you're just like chatting, chilling, bullshitting. Uh,
Hmm.
honestly, really cool. I think that's like again, that's like another thing that I really like about watching your run in particular. You inspire a lot of confidence. Not to say that, watching someone else like, I've actually not seen a lot of Neon's runs, but
Hmm.
um, watching yours versus somebody else's, it's like I'm kind of more inclined to watch yours, even if I could theoretically learn something from someone else's run a little bit better. Maybe they talk about it a little bit more in detail, whatever. Um, I don't know. That's just a personal preference of mine. I will blow your own horn, or blow your horn the entire time.
Yep, you're blowing the horn at the moment
the
instead of me.
yes, the Gehis horn. Um, if you had any advice for anybody who wanted to run a category for Sly One, doesn't matter what it is, what would be your biggest piece to a newcomer to it?
Just make sure you have fun. That's really all it is. The reason why I even made it this far in the first place is because I was just having fun with it. And yeah, have fun with it. Work with what you have. Really make sure that this is something that you want to do, because I know a lot of people have invested a lot of money in buying a backwards compatible
Mm,
PS3
mm-hmm.
and only use it for 1 month and never play the game again. So yeah, just really make sure you like doing the thing first is
Yeah,
the biggest thing I could even say.
and I would like to talk about it more in depth specifically, but even not having a backwards compatible PS3 and just running the game as, Windows PS3, still a
Yeah.
great way to attempt it. Because I remember last year, I cannot remember for the life of me, um, they removed emulator as a category, like a extension. So emulator and then console. Because when I
Yeah.
made my Murray Must Die video, that was a specific thing. It didn't exist. I checked over and over again, and that's why I say it in my video that it's an emulator friendly run. Um, but now it's here. It's real, and you can compete. Not against Gehis
Exactly.
if you don't have a PS3 or a backers compatible, But you can still compete.
Yeah, you could be there. It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, because like the only thing you don't have to worry, like you have to worry about is the first super jump slingshot, as I call it, because you have to pause, move the camera out of the way so it doesn't get stuck on the light fixture, and
Hmm.
then continue. I think that's like the only thing you'd have to worry about, right? Unless there's a different thing that's emulator specific that is broken otherwise. Um, I don't I don't think so. You didn't
Yeah,
mention
I think
anything
that I
else.
think that is the only thing emulator wise, even PS5 wise. Like I think they share the same quirks like that. I think that's like the only thing that's like different. And it's like you lose like 2 3 seconds. It's not that bad.
Yeah. Honestly, I should probably watch the first place run for the emulator any percent, see if I can compete for that, because I might not have time, but this is something that I would be really interested in trying. Maybe top 10. That's what I'll aim for.
No, yeah, it'll be fine. Yeah, I think yeah, it's good that there's an emulator board by itself. I think that will definitely promote, some kind of, progress if you want to go for that.
hmm We still got to find a way to get, Murray Must Die as a category extension, and, pegging percent, peg percent. One of my favorite categories ever. Maybe someday it'll be recognized by a higher power, but
They're going to take it one day, I promise.
oh, please. But you just if you ever do get to go to GDQ and they bring you on, can you like you don't even have to mention me by name. Can you just say like shout out Murray Must Die and that's it? That's like
Okay, that could happen.
Speaking of GDQ, you were on a GDQ, which for those that don't know is the like live streamed version from your own home, from the sanctity of your own place.
Hmm.
You're on Games Done Quick's channel. Um, you mentioned that you wanted to do all keys as a category. Like you want to bring it to the actual convention, the actual place where people can watch. Why specifically all keys?
Uh, well, I think it's mostly because any percent is like basically like the life of the game.
hmm
And that's where you get like your fixins, right? Like that, if you want to watch like a short run with some cool tricks, that's like the life of the game. But any like all keys is basically more of that, in like and more expanded on, I'd say. So I think like you get like a nice good share of like a variety of tricks. There's some proxies, some out of bounds, some clipping through walls and all that. And yeah, I think like it's more friendly to watch than like something like 100%, because I do think like for watching visually, I think like you're mostly collecting things in an order,
hmm
and it's kind of, I think it'd be harder to appreciate as someone casually watching, and you're also running like with the fast ability the whole time. So I think out of everything, I think all keys is like the best way to experience the speed run,
Yeah,
like visually.
and also 100% is still over an hour, right? It's over an hour long.
Oh yeah, it's like 1 hour 38 or something like that.
Yeah, so um because I know from watching a lot of people run at GDQ, uh like messing up a trick is very common, like just under that much pressure from an audience. So like
Hmm.
the you mess up a trick on an already long run, it just makes it that much longer. And I know GDQ doesn't really like that anymore for specific reasons, Halo. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, we
Yeah.
we all know the one. So yeah, all keys would be really cool to see. And we were actually talking about it during our little intermission before the stream started.
Hmm.
Um, they gave you a reason as to why they didn't bring you on this year for doing GDQ for all keys. You want to reiterate what that was?
Yeah, so this time around, which I think is a really cool idea, they gave out like a Google form of which that like you can ask for what is it, feedback for one of the runs that you submitted. And they'll tell you like basically like what you need to know about like why it didn't get in this time around. and I applied for that. I put in all keys because that's the one I'm most invested in. And what they sent back was there was nothing wrong with the submission itself. It's just that they uh, even though it was 2 years ago, they it wasn't that many events ago that all keys was showcased in, and but they do say like then just keep submitting it, and then there is merit behind the actual submission itself, so it might keep doing it basically.
Hmm. And who was it? It wasn't you that did the all keys. Who did that the last event that it was at?
It is a runner by the name of Zenthro, who was basically the GDQ Sly One mainstay for multiple years at this point.
Okay, okay. Snooze that ad really fast. Okay. I would, it's next year. That's what I'm gonna say. I don't know if exact time frame, but the next time that you're able to submit, they better bring you in, or I'm gonna be very angry, and I'll let them know. My uncle works for GDQ totally, and I'll just release like 500 more speedrun explain stuff as far as Sly Cooper goes, and maybe one of them will snag, and someone will see it and be like, yeah, let's bring on this fella, this Gehis guy.
Yeah, just scratching your chin is like, yeah, I think we want this one. Yeah, I think this is the good one.
It's the propaganda all over the YouTube feed.
Exactly. You have to just invade the senses. Like this is all I could think about.
Hmm. Um, if you did get onto or get into GDQ, who's going to be on your couch? Who's going to be co-commentating with you alongside you as you showcase the run?
I do find that interesting because I think basically, I mean, whoever's on hand, really, whoever's
The
there.
janitor, the the guy from Ratchet and Clank next door.
Y- No, yeah, no, I could definitely get some ratchet people to be on the couch if I wanted to. I could do that. It's just yeah. So I think I have two experiences running the game in a marathon setting, even though it was online. I had two of them, one with commentary, one with just me. Uh, at this point, I know I could do solo, and I wouldn't mind if I had to do it solo. But I think the thing is like GDQ gets a little bit nervous about solo commentators because they don't have they don't know if they could carry that
Yeah,
kind of setting like alone. So
yeah, because the magic of GDQ is it's also supposed to be like fully entertaining. Like um, you can't just speak the tricks out of your mouth. You gotta have some sort of like uh audience to appreciate your stuff. So um where was I going with that? I This is another reason why I don't do interviews anymore. I off complete kilter. Uh,
I'm
but
keeping track of this.
if you could have anybody on, like one person, who would it be specifically?
One person, that is interesting.
Two people. We'll just say that.
I don't know. It's just I was intending, if I go to physically GDQ, basically just people from that play Sly One. I just there's already so few of us anyways that play
Mhm.
these days. It's just a couple of active runners at the moment. I know I got a couple friends out there. I will say that Nick Costalis is like a popular one. That's a good guy right there.
Mhm.
I know, there was one big chickinator who was also intending on going at one of these, so that's cool. Yeah, there he is. I see him.
Yeah, there he
He's
is.
there. But yeah, just as long as I don't know, it's just like if I'm going to a GDQ and there's people there, I think I want them. That's all.
All 10
I,
members of the Sly speedrunning community, all on the
oh,
same couch. No, I'm kidding.
okay, we're speaking a little bit too highly, but yeah, something like that, like around the ballpark of like three.
If I could fly out, I would go. Probably not to sit on the couch because I'd be nervous as hell, but I would love to see that live. I think that would be super freaking cool. Um, Especially like I don't know, there's a thrill to seeing it live that I don't know if
Hmm.
people appreciate it nowadays. I don't even know how you go to one because I don't go out often. I'm a couch potato. Don't worry about
No,
that.
that's fine.
um, so let's say you're there, and you have the opportunity. to you have like that moment of time. I know Sly Cooper is like a trick on trick on trick on trick, but you get a moment to shout out people. Who you shouting out? Who's like your top three people that you're gonna shout out in the middle of the run specifically?
Oh, okay, couch doesn't count, so that's cool. They automatically they talk and they want to say thank you and all that. I want who would I thank? For specifically, of course, my community thing. That'll be, I'll say that. I mean, I'll throw him a bone. I'll say that. I'll thank the man by the name of Artery. That guy. That guy's like a big proponent of finding cool tricks in the game. Some of the best tricks that we do in the game actually come from him just messing around and finding glitches and all that. So that's a good one. I would like to thank maybe like the other side of Sly One speedrunning, which is Remaster for PS3. So Rude, so RYYD. Yeah, that guy. That he's like one of the few people I could talk to about the game in like the way that I understand it. So I think I think those people I'd get squared away.
Yeah, he's got he thinks very similarly to you in terms of like how tricks are approached specifically.
Yeah, I think a lot of my biggest developments playing this game come from just talking to that guy. Yeah.
Okay. And one of my last questions, I have like a few like basic ones, but this is like the one that everyone wants to know. This is all they care about. This is all we want to know. Everyone on Reddit talks about it all the time.
Of course, all the Reddits, yeah.
Yeah, every Reddit, even like Legend of Zelda. Are you a Sly 5 believer, a Sly movie or series believer, or a Sly remaster believer?
Oh, I'm very heavy Sly remaster believer, absolutely.
Okay.
I think that one's almost a shoo-in, actually.
So what about
it's the most
do you
likely.
want remastered? Like do you want them to keep like the dialogue and just update the visuals? Like what parts of it do you really want to see come out?
I think it's interesting talking about specifically Sly 1 because the re-release for PS5 is even more evidence of it. Is just that like it's just a timeless game.
Yeah.
So, like, it's really hard to think about like what I would want to see like remastered. It plays really good. It looks really good. It's just a good game. The thing is, it's short. So I think like that's like the best place to start. Just expand like how much of the game that you're playing. Like maybe instead of like 7, it's like 10 keys or something like that per world.
Okay, so you want to see like level variety. You want to see new puzzles introduced and all that stuff specifically.
Yeah, I'd say that. Yeah, I think because I feel like I hear all the complaints that people have about the game. I think it like, for example, like one of the ones that is very like valid is when you press circle, like when you want to like reach for a hook, but it kind of like reaches down to like the rope beneath you. Like that's a real problem, right? So like of course fix that. But other things like sometimes like when I press circle, it does nothing.
Yeah.
Usually the answer is you just press it later, or like at the right time. That's really it.
Yeah. Another one that I could think of off the top of my head is like spire point jumps when you want to go for one further away and you're very clearly underneath that one, but it brings you to one that's like behind you first. That's really frustrating from a casual standpoint. You actually brought this up the other day, talking about anti-piracy measures that you have to like really fuck up the game in order to actually go into effect.
Exactly.
Do you think that sometimes like circle not working is just like an after effect of that?
Yes, that is a confirmed thing. Sometimes when you press circle, it just will not register.
So is that like an emu specific as well, or does the game even recognize an emu as like anti-piracy measures needing to take place?
Oh no, like for any piracy to even take place in the first place, you really have to fuck up the game. Like you actually have to try to like put a lot of like cheat codes in and like cheat files for that. If you're playing emulator, like you'll never see that. Like that's not a normal thing.
Okay, I was like super curious about it because again, it might be the me needing to press circle later, but sometimes I run into that and I always think about it in the back of my brain. I'm like, is this anti-piracy at play? Was it a skill issue or was it out of my control?
Yeah, like I think like one of the best examples I could provide for that kind of issue is like when you're specifically in Rocky Start, when you're in the train cars near the end and you have to do like the double hook jump like over the water.
Yes.
That's a very popular spot to like miss your circle presses, but really all it is you have to do like a good double jump with height, and you have to like basically press circle like uh a little bit closer than you think to the hook. That's like a good example of that.
hmm The one that I was thinking of was same level, like a little bit before that. Um, the the freaking dog with the ball and chain. The first one, you go up on the mattress, and then there's the 2 spire points there.
Need food badly.
Thank you for the self care. That scared the shit out of me. You could like jump and be completely over the second spire point and still go backwards to the one before it, and it's so frustrating because you just lose all momentum and you're like, oh my god, this sucks.
Yeah,
From a casual
curious,
runner,
actually.
yeah. Back before I learned how to do the Cletus proxies specifically, which I can sort of do now. Let's go.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I was thinking about like what I would want to see in a remaster, and I also agree with you in regards to like what would they even do? Like what would they add? What would they change? Because voice acting, I think, is something that I don't want them to touch. I want them to keep Kevin Blackton in there for the bosses, because he literally sounded like 4 different guys entirely. So like,
Yeah.
I don't know, that's what I think of, but mechanically, I think the game's really sound. Like it's hard to want something more from a game that's relatively short, So yeah, I had something in mind. I completely lost the question, so I'm gonna open it up to chat. If you have any questions for Gehis, please feel free to ask. Nothing too invasive, but unless you want it to be invasive, I could have it be invasive for you.
It could be tested. It's fine. I can handle it. It's fine.
Buffy says, I've been implementing skips in my IRL day-to-day life. Cletus skip is helpful for when I'm taking the trash out, but booger skip is a time saver when I'm doing any chore, honestly.
Booger skip, that's interesting.
I call it booger jump. I actually am probably like the #1 reason why people hate tech names is because I make them up and then I don't elaborate as to why they're called that. I don't even know if you could call the jump that you do off the squids booger skip or booger jump. I that's just what I've been calling it. So
No, it's I don't remember if I mentioned it in my notes, but I think that skip specifically is very prone to having like multiple names that no one could agree on. So I think like I think booger skip is technically one of them. So like you're pretty much fine, I think, in that regard.
We hit it. We're good. It's not like when I called you out for saying it was like sword jump or like, yeah, and I was like, well, why isn't it called sword jump? But I just wasn't looking, and it's obviously off the monkey. So like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, there we go.
Nick wants to know, Gehis, when are they coming?
I think he's gonna see after this stream.
Huge.
Big.
Big even. PK wants to know, what's your favorite soda?
That is a good question. What is it? I'm trying not to do the regular sodies. I'm doing the diet stuff now because I feel like that would be a good advancement of my life. Just give me like a Diet Pepis or something. I feel like that'd be pretty good. I can handle that.
Diet Pepis?
With my tummy, Yeah.
I actually can't even remember the last time I had a Diet Pepsi. I've had everything else diet, but you know what? Maybe after this stream, I'll go out and try it just for my good friend here.
That's what it's like to be an influencer. There we go.
Monster or Red Bull?
That's a good question because I don't do energy drinks on either.
Really? Really? Do you do any coffee, tea?
Not at all. No. I've decided that I'm going to live without that.
Yeah, it does kind of fall within that purview of you black out whenever you need to fall asleep and get your rest. So
Yeah, I don't believe in performance enhancers, so I'm just gonna go without the energy drinks and whatnot. So
Nick wants to know, when's the last time you had Jack in the Box tendies?
when was that? It was really recently. I have to think about my past week. Jesus. I'm gonna say Saturday. That's the last time I had Jack in the Box chicken tenders. There we go.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Personal question from me. Even though I don't know when I'm gonna do another interview like this or ever again, but this has become a staple.
Yes.
I like to ask a pay it forward question. So, if you could ask the next person, whoever it is, any question, what would you ask them?
Can I go back on what I asked you earlier?
What was it again?
When was the last time you jumped?
Yeah.
See, there you go. Like, no, you already knew the answer to that one.
Yeah. Oh my god. Chat, when was the last time you jumped? I'm gonna ask my viewers specifically this question because
See, there you go.
I, being 6'4" in real life, I'll just reiterate what I said when we were in break. I've never. I don't really have to jump because I'm 6'4". I'm really tall, so I'll either hit the ceiling, or I can just reach for something. I don't have to worry about it too much. So, Nick says at least this past week, huge. Around a year ago when you were doing physical therapy, hell yeah.
See, I'm telling you, this is such a good question. Like, these are good answers.
Does that mean that we need to jump more as a community? Do we need to do like a momentum preservation jump in real life? Hold the input for at least however many frames? Like, is that what we're going for?
Yeah, I don't know how to hold an input with my jump, but yeah, I think like that could probably occur.
Yeah, that's the next level. Much like Simple Flips learning how to do the BLJ IRL, we're gonna have to implement a real life Sly Cooper skip in general. So like, some tech. Actually, that is a good question. What tech would you want to word in real life?
What I want to learn of proxies, like that. I think that's a good, like that's such a free answer. Like being able to squeeze like into like a very clear corner. That's like you try to squeeze in there. And it's like you go to like 5 miles an hour, and then you just go somewhere else like 5 feet.
Provided there's no fall damage also present in this as well.
I'm not assuming that, by the way.
You're late for work. You're just I think this is the right angle. You walk into a sign and you're flying across the entire city.
Yeah, I have to deal with the consequences basically.
Honestly, like if you accept those consequences, I think that whatever deity made that real would respect you enough to not give you fall damage for that. I mean, if it was my world in a perfect world, so
yeah, like in the perfect world where the deity is Jonathan Sucker Punch, I feel like I'll take a blessing. It's fine.
When I clenched my butthole when I jumped to preserve momentum.
I imagine that's how it would feel like, yeah.
Oh no. What a horrible image. What if we just had to worry about accidentally hitting a proxy in real... Oh my god. You roll off into the wall of your bed and you're in between and you proxy out. What happens? Like in the middle of your sleep.
Yeah, I'm looking right now, and then like I have to I drop my phone in between the gap between like the bed and the desk, and then like I try to reach for the phone, and then I just start launching like whoa.
All right. Yeah, and then that's it. It's over. Chat, we're gonna have an ad play, but I'm too lazy to go to a break because I think we're like right at the end. I think this is like a good spot to end at. So any subscribing havers can listen to our afterthought, our after forward. So
The afterward.
the after. Oh, there's Artery. Hello, welcome on in.
Hey, there he is. That's the guy I like.
Yeah, Sly Cooper two speedruns when. We're gonna have an ad come in, so if you really want to hear this, we might want to wait on this particular thing.
Yeah, we'll let it marinate a little bit. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll ruminate. It'll be suspenseful. Listen to the same Chick-fil-A ad like 500 times, and it'll be fine. Shoot, I don't actually have an ad specific question that I want to ask you. It's really unfortunate. Ouch. Do you have any questions for me? Any questions that you'd like to ask me specifically, so that no one can know what I'm answering?
Let's see. I didn't think I'd be doing interviews today as well. Let's see. I don't know. When are you doing Sly 3? When is that happening?
Okay. So I've admitted this a few times. Never fully finished Sly 3 at all.
Oh, brother, it's like I knew.
When I made the Sly 3 video about Rumble Down Under, everyone was really upset with me because they were like, well, this isn't a bad level. It's not even that bad. And that wasn't even what the video was about. I was just saying that it's pretty infamous for having, like, Karma Larja and a really weird plot. And it's also the only level in the entire series where there's no main boss. Like, sort of. Like, not like a dedicated boss that isn't Carmelita. And everyone was like, what the worst one's the pirate level, and I've never played it, so I have no context. But
yeah,
I might have to talk about that level, all things considered. So,
what do you want? Do you want the Cliff Notes? The reason why I think like that one kind of like is like, kind of sucks.
Yes, but I also want to know: do you think it is the worst level, or is there a level that comes to mind? Let's not include Sly 4 because it's not really in the same bracket. But yeah, what is the Cliff Notes, and also what is your least favorite level ever?
Let's see. Looking back at it, what was so for Sly 3, episode 1 was good. Episode 2, some people don't like it. I think it's fine. That's fine as well. 3 is good. 4 is good. Yeah, 5 has to be like technically the worst one. I personally don't mind it, but I think a majority of it, like, do you know what happens in it? Like, do you know about the ship combat thing?
I very vaguely know about it. I think I was blacked out drunk maybe when I saw somebody playing it.
Okay, cool. That's great. That's a good start. I think like that one just kind of like actually playing through it doesn't like strike like the same itch as you would want from like a Sly 1 episode. And also from the fact that like the main area that you think you're going to be in for the majority of the time, you're there for like do I want to even say not even half of it? Like you very much like ditch like the platforming pretty early on, honestly. I think that's probably why like kind of like it has less of an impact like on the rest of the game.
That's like what I see a lot of, and what I also think about and reflect on. Because like Sly 1 and 2, they like 1 is all platforming and it's got the flair, right? All of the characters sell it. The level design is really good. You don't really thievery, but you are on a thieving revenge plot. That's the whole point of the first game. Sly 2 is where it really it hits the nail on the head. It's a really good, still super thematic all the way from start to finish. 3, the only level that feels like a Sly level is Italy. You're doing all the shenanigans, the chicanery, because Rumble Down Under is not really a thief level. It doesn't feel like a thief level. It's just, it is what it is,
It's just, you're just in Australia, and there's black magic. Yeah.
Yeah, and like James said it, the Lemon Rage level is probably one of the best in the entire series. It's really cool. Um, in a vacuum, it's really good. You could probably see it as a good Thief level, but it's also the context of it doesn't make any sense. Like the writing of that level from the beginning to the end is very, it feels super rushed. I think that, just in my opinion, I don't know, I've not watched any interviews for it, but it's one of those ones where it's like, this one feels really wrong.
Yeah, because I think they knew what they had, and how good it was, because I remember playing the kiosk demo of
Uh-huh.
it when the game was coming out, and that was one of the demo levels that you were allowed to play. And I think,
Yeah.
like, yeah, that honestly is probably the best showcase of the game, really, for what it is. Like, they knew that they had something good with that mission there.
I was I think I was 11 when I played that at a Target specifically. I
That's what I did.
yeah, it just ran in, mashed the button, and that was the level. I did it. Oh yes. Uh,
Yep, that's it. You fight, it's over.
so to answer Artery's question, and Ostrava, what are we doing Sly 2 speedruns? What's
Oh,
on the docket?
brother! Well, that's always the funny thing, is that, like, I always promise Sly 2 to people, because, you know, I play Sly 1. People are like, "Hey, what about the other ones?" I'm like, "Well, about that, they're not really the same thing." So, I keep promising it after years. It's just like, uh, man, it's like, just like that's right now. It feels like, just such a long, arduous thing to go through, like, to learn all these things. Like, I know you could do episodes and all that, but, like, I like doing the whole thing. You know, it's like I don't want to do, like, the episode thing. But when, hopefully before the year ends, because right now, I have a couple things I want to do in Sly 1 still.
Hmm.
And then after that, maybe I dabble in Sly 2. I think that's good.
So you are looking at doing at like one episode specifically, or like, are you gonna try all of them and see what you think?
No, yeah, that's the Sly 2 classic. Doing episodes first, and then, like, you maybe, like, scrounge up something for, like, a full run of the whole game.
Yeah. Well, what's the? That's like a three. That's probably low end, actually, isn't it? Longer, like a
I
three
think it's like
plus.
4. It's like
Yeah.
4,
I know. I know
if I remember.
Strava would know way more because, as far as I know, Strava's the only one that runs Sly 2.
Yeah, I would say so. Let me see. Let me quickly observe. Yeah, I think around on average one would probably do, like, what, 5 hours or so. Like, just someone who's not adept at the game, probably, like, 5 hours.
Hmm. Buffy, you better be Tangerine on that. That's, you can't just say that. You can't just go out and say that Sly Cooper live action is a thing.
Yeah, well, there we go.
Oh my god. Buffy did ask earlier, what if someone did a speed walk? Like, you have to move your character slowly, but you know all the skips. Um,
I've basically done that. I've done that.
yeah, it's not getting up super early in the morning and just taking your time getting through the day.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, you move in the character. Yeah, because recently for April Fools, I did a any percent run, but I had the slow ability unlocked, and I had held that down the whole time.
That sounds like pain. What was your time?
I don't remember, but I have the video file. Let's see, like, here. Let's see. Yep, it's called April Fool. Let's see what it was. All right, let's skip to the end. It was 1 hour 50 minutes.
That's really tough. Like, it's not that bad if you've run the game, I suppose, but that seems like it would be really painful the entire time.
No, I had fun. No, I could do it. That's the thing about it, is, like, I specifically can handle it.
Okay. So, okay.
Like, it was very, no, I had fun. It's just it's very stupid is the funny part. Yeah.
When you pause the game and unpause it, it slows down and starts back up. We know this. We've established this is a pretty major tech. Does that same principle apply with the slowdown? Like, does movement change with the slowdown or speed up, aside from obviously changing the pace?
I'm gonna assume that it kind of does. Unless like it does a thing where like it doesn't register as you're holding triangle anymore, but I'm not sure. Like that's not something I recall,
Cause
which is interesting.
a APA, right? That's World
Yeah.
4's proxy. Um, when you unpause there specifically and you're mashing the binocs, could that theoretically work for the chicanery of getting that launch? Or that's interesting. I don't know if you've ever tried that before. It would maybe something to try in a future run, but
That is interesting. Yeah, I haven't thought about that.
I call it loot skip.
We'll see.
The loot variation.
I've always been a big fan of naming tricks in that kind of way.
Yeah.
Like that, like it's like it's something like something like that. It's like like the something variation, the something strategy. Like I want to like extend the name as long as I could, like with
Yeah.
fancy words if I could. Like
Holo jump loot variation, like just make it stupid and ridiculous or something like that.
Yeah, one of the things that I've always wanted to do is I want to find like a valid skip or something, a trick for any percent, and just call it the strat. I think like that's one of the things I want to do. I just want to call something the strat.
Yeah, who knows? Like a year and a half from now, maybe like when you've brought the run down another 20 minutes for any percent, and you get another video made, and it's like Tomato Angus or like freaking summoning salt, and they go through and they very seriously explain this is the strat. Founded and made by Gehis specifically.
It's just so good. Like it kind of warrants when you're explaining something like that. It's like when you're talking about it, it's like, okay, so we're gonna talk about immediate pause, strat.
The strat.
Like you have to pause before you say it. It's like I'm gonna do the strat.
Yeah,
it kind of warrants the pause.
That is something that in your script you would put, the hyphen space hyphen, and it's just fully capitalized.
Exactly.
The geek trick.
Yeah, like if someone gave me the opportunity to name a trick, I'm not naming after myself. I am calling it the strat. Like I would prioritize that.
Banger. So, okay, bringing them up reminded me, in the future, because I mostly did the any percent explained because I love the game a lot and I think the game's really cool. In the future, if the opportunity arose, like, would you? This is a dumb question. I think you would say yes, actually. This is just straight up you say yes. You would probably want to be on with like Summoning Salt, and like if they did a like overview of the game and the speedrun history behind it. Because you're the guy, you're the man who's in every category. You're the one at the very end that he doesn't say anything and he just shows your name on screen and then the video ends. Like,
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I think that would work. I would be one of the men. Yeah, one of them.
It would be you and Neon probably, because I know again, I don't know, because I never catch Neon ever, if Neon even streams consistently at all. So I have no idea. I've never talked with them, interacted with them. It'd be really cool to have a chat at some point. But hey, maybe someday, if Tomato Anus doesn't come to you for like all keys or something, and I feel comfortable going through, and you and me can collaborate again. I would do 100% make another video about all keys if that's something that would interest you in the future.
Yeah, I think that could be fun. Yeah, because yeah, like James mentioned, Salt is looking for non-Nintendo games. He did ask on Twitter. He did say that.
Have you talked? Have you replied? Did you put it in the thread?
No.
Okay. Go do it now.
I got it. I don't know. If it's so valid, I mean, if it's not weird to be like, hey, you want to? It just feels weird. You just like, hey, you want to check out my game, the thing that I do?
Yeah,
Like,
sure.
like I don't know, like it just feels weird. It's like, hey, check out this thing that I like. That I'm basically, it's like basically like by proxy I'm asking him to talk about me. You know what I'm saying? It's like that feels
Well,
kind of weird.
well, okay, yeah, but like there is a history to it. You're not the first person to do, Sly speedrunning. You were not first place at all. There's a lot of work and
Yeah, no,
with
like
a
I
long
mean, like,
timeline.
like, of course, when you say like that, like I'm worried about the optics of the situation. There's like like the way that it looks is like if I do, is like, but maybe I still do it anyways. It's fine.
Listen, and my chat members won't get this at all, but type sex in chat if you want Gehis to do this right now. Like, go over to Twitter, ask Mr. Salt to put just say it. Just say Sly Cooper 1.
Just to say Sly Cooper 1. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there you go. Like that honestly is I don't watch a lot of Salt nowadays, but like I would love to see the full history because I am like way too I'm way too distanced from long content. Like anything longer than an hour I can't do because I feel pressure and I feel stressed watching it because I don't have a lot of time in my day. So please Mr. Geeks, please, poor Spider, would you please do it?
Look, all I'm saying is that the news broke out yesterday is that there might be a certain event that I've applied to in regards to speedrunning that could be brought to a wider audience as well. So it is the Ludwig special of Fast 52. So I applied to that, and all I'm saying, I live in California as well, where they're based in. So maybe we'll see if something cool happens from that as well. If people want to talk about it, I'm just saying.
Fuck it, teach Ludwig the run. Like just walk through and.
No, I will definitely make fun of him. Absolutely, yeah.
That would be awesome. I want to see. I don't know why I'm like this. I'm very weird. Whenever I see somebody that I like really like content creation wise, it's like all of a sudden I'm the biggest backer in the entire world. Not financially, just by word of mouth. You gotta do it, my friend. You gotta talk it. You gotta be a little selfish. Not like mean, but you gotta be like, hey, I do this thing for a really cool franchise that I really like, and I am the best at the moment. But
I'm the best.
I want to see you talk about it. Consult's done it, The Mike Tyson Punch-Out speedrun history. At the very end, he does the same thing. He is the world record holder for it.
He is the guy, yeah.
And that was bone chilling because I didn't even know that, and that was really cool. What's his name? Linkus for I believe at one point, Super Mario Sunshine was a video that he made, but he did the Wind Waker speedrun history as well. I don't know. You know what? Make your own. Make your speedrun history video. Post it. Go over Salt.
It would be so funny. I could maybe one day that could happen.
And then the number one. Then they met him, and you flash your name on screen, and I don't know. You don't seem like the fellow who's like overtly competitive. Like, would you say that you're pretty competitive in that regard, or was it always something that was like super casual for you from the beginning?
Oh, on speedrunning?
Yeah.
I'm not really competitive at all when it comes to speedrunning. It may be like with a friend. It is kind of funny to dogpile someone for being worse than me in a game, like in a game that I know nothing about, but really, I'm just playing against me. That's all I care about, because if it's fun, I'll keep doing it. That's really all it is to me.
It's because you're the best in the world and no one can compete with you ever. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Look, like I said, I mentioned, if it was just me out there in the mean streets of Sly 1, I would still play it. It's just me. It's just still fun. It's
real.
Good.
I will. Like I said, I'll try the emulator. Maybe if I'm rich enough to find a backwards compatible PS3, I'll give that a shot.
Okay, well, we'll see about that. Yeah.
I will be up there. I'll master the skips. I'll get it all in, and then I'll make another video, and it'll be me. I'll be the one who's taking your spot. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not.
That is a video idea. Like, I learned how to do Sly Cooper. Like, I learned how to play it.
How I beat the #1 speedrunner in Sly Cooper. No, I'm not gonna do that. That's not.
Okay, at least learning the game would suffice for a video. I think that would be fun.
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%. I usually don't like talking about my ideas out loud because I'm paranoid, one, of people already doing it, and like I'm stealing their idea inadvertently. Like I don't intend to, but I'm just stealing the concept from somebody else. But more specifically, I don't like giving people ideas because I want it to be me. It's my idea.
No, I'm guilty of that. I'm usually good at coming up with ideas for other people except myself, so I have to stop talking sometimes.
Yeah. I want to do, and people have done this before, so I know it's not something that'll be too crazy, but I want to do an in-depth look at all of the, like, oddities for Sly 1 specifically, like, not even from, like, how glitchy the game can be or how much you can break it, but just, like, why they did certain things a certain way, the speculation, like, I'm really interested in why, you know, World 4 is World 4 instead of being World 2 or one of the first worlds, you know, stuff like that. So that's kind of what I want to talk about. But yeah, I think that is all the questions I have for you today. You want to shout yourself out, give yourself a little bit of take that horn out and let everybody know about what you do and when you'll be streaming next.
Hello, I'm Gehis514. And I stream to Gehis514 at Gehis514. Yep, that's my website. And yeah, I'm on YouTube. You know, YouTube at Gehis514. I don't know how to do that, but yeah, I'm on YouTube as well. I do some stuff. I might upload shorts again for Sly 1 stuff. And I'm also on TikTok for Gehis514. That's pretty cool too. And I like dirt.
Okay, but what kind of dirt? Okay, we're getting back into the interview. What kind of dirt do you eat?
I feel like we have to stop.
All right, all right. He's spoken. he has spoken.
And that's how you end interviews. There we go.
Exactly. On my end, I had a horrible mental health month, so I apologize for not doing the thing that I wanted to do this month, which was streaming every day that I could for doing the Trevor Project charity. I'll get back to it. I promise. It's just been one of those months. Whenever I finish a project that's really big, this video that I did, it just kind of like I hit the end of the roller coaster track, and I have to go back in line to get back onto it. So we'll get to it. I don't know how to end streams. It's been a while.
That's okay. You got this.
Do you have any final words of wisdom for chat?
Make sure it's the same as before, but I'll say it again because it's good general advice. Make sure that find the fun to the thing that you're doing, just so you could, you know, motivate yourself to do it more and succeed in it. And that's it. And maybe like I don't know, like clean between your toes. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's very important. That is actually not the toe stuff, but the general advice that I give people whenever they're like, why can't I do this thing? Like, what's wrong? And then I watch them and they get incredibly frustrated during the thing that they do. Practicing for fighting games, I'm looking at specific people. If you don't have fun, you will not learn as well as someone who is. So you gotta take a step back and enjoy yourself. If you really love that game, play the hell out of it, and the rest will follow. So, yeah, you don't want to...
Someone who works hard will never beat someone who's having fun.
Yeah. I mean, there is... Never mind, that's semantics. We're not going to get into that.
Yep.
Buffy asks, can you say this one is for you before you do a cool skip next time? You don't need to follow it up with any name. Just keep it vague like that.
Oh, I think that's a good bit actually. I just look at the camera and I point at it. It's like this one's for you.
This one's for
And then
you.
like like little Timmy out there in his like little Crocs is like watching the stream. He's like, dude, that was for me. And then
Yeah.
he starts speedrunning, and then I lose all my income, and then that's how the story of Timmy.
You do like you do like sign proxy, and you go, "This one's for you," and it's just something as simple as that.
Yeah, like I unlock like the slow ability, and then I look at the camera, and then like I bite my lip a little bit, and it's like this one's for you. And then I scratch my chin. Is like, okay, well that was weird, and then I just keep speedrunning.
Yeah, you hit it with a yikes, like okay, and then you just go back in.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. And yeah, if you want to go check out Gehis, you should go over to the little name down under the screen here. And yeah, I will be live on Sunday night in a shocking twist because I don't stream on Sundays. So keep an eye out for that. Mm-hmm. Have a good night, everyone, and take care. And I will see you next time. I love you.
Bye.